What's going on, guys? My name is Logan Borg. This video will be going over who I am, what I do for a living, some of my passions, kind of what the channel is going to be about, and then a little bit about where I want it to go in the future. So, I guess I'll start off with who I am. Again, my name is Logan Borg. I work as a mechanical engineer at a forklift manufacturing place. Um, I do about 50-50 design and troubleshooting on the assembly line. Um, I work and collaborate with many people, all walks of life. Um, I lead several projects, and yeah, honestly, it's really fulfilling, really fulfilling. So that's kind of what I do for a living. And that's not to say that I don't enjoy it, because I do, but you know, it's how I get a source of income. So, yeah. And then some of my passions, I like playing sports. I like to think of myself as somewhat of an athlete. If I was bigger, I'd be going insane, but, I'm skinny and I'm working on it. So, there's that. But, in the past, I played tennis, I participated in track, uh, played spike ball throughout college. I played pickleball for a while. I picked up soccer. Um, After going my whole life without kicking a soccer ball, I kind of picked it up. Uh, wasn't really good at defense. Hell of a playmaker on offense, making plays left and right. And then here recently, I've been getting back into tennis, and more importantly, uh, rock climbing about 2 times a week. About, if you guys know the grading scale for that, like the ratings and stuff like that, I'm at like a V4 level, so that's kind of like your average rock climber. I think will be in that grade. But I do want to get better, and there are things that I'm going to try and implement outside of the rock climbing gym that'll hopefully get me to the next levels. So yeah, that's one of my passions. And then, as you can see here, I have quite a fragrance collection. Most of them were blind buys. I can't lie, and you know some of them are misses, and that's bound to happen. If you're shooting from the three, you're gonna miss, and that's okay. But I'd say I like about 75% of it. Um, and for the ones I don't like, whenever people come over, I just have them smell them, and if they like it, then I'm like, hey, you can have it if you want. So yeah, and then you can see the books down there as well. Some of them are, well, a lot of them are self-help books. Um, you know, uh, Atomic Habits, Thinking Fast and Slow, Rich Dad Poor Dad, all those things. When I was in college, I had like a huge kick off of it, because I mean those books. I mean, if you read them front to back, take some notes. I mean, and you start applying what they're saying in these books. I mean, it's a treasure trove of knowledge. And if you take the time to learn it, understand it, apply it, I mean, it can do wonders for you. But yeah, and then some of the books are fiction, so I'm really big into sci-fi. I like Dune. Shout out shout out Timothy Chalamet, killed it in Dune. Shout out Zendaya. Shout out Dennis Villanueva. I think that's, I don't think that's how you say his last name, but yeah, shout out him. He did a great job putting the book onto the big screen. And then there's like Andy Ware, I think that's his name. He made The Martian. Shout out Matt Damon. Uh, Went crazy on that movie, trying to bring the character's inner workings in his head, like on his face. so you could kind of understand where he was going, what direction he was trying to be in at when he was on Mars. Um, and then, you know, some other ones like the Precipice, the Da Vinci Code is on there. So I mean, I do like sci-fi fantasy fiction books as well. I mean, that's all I read when I was in like middle school and high school. Then I took like a huge break because video games was like booming. But yeah, and I guess that's a good segue. I do like playing games. I played collegiate Valorant. If you guys know what Valorant is, it's kind of like CS and Overwatch combined. People don't like that, comparison, and I get it. But for the average person, they don't know that it's like 5v5 tac shooter with agents that have different abilities, and there's different guns, and there's different parts of the game when you're playing competitive. So kind of a nice summary for people who don't know what Valorant is about. Then I like playing Rocket League. I like playing RPGs. I like playing video games with my friends. It's just a good time. I wouldn't say it's the best use of time. I mean, but it's fun, and I think if you're not having fun with your friends, what are you doing? You know. So yeah, that's what I'm about. So now I guess we'll move on to what my channel will be about. So I just talked about some of my passions. Thought about this channel being multifaceted. I don't know how well that would do for keeping a steady audience and having a community that I want to stay long term. I know that I need one type of thing to talk about really. But I do want to explore my other passions, and I want to learn from y'all at the end of the day. Yes, in this channel, I want you guys to learn from me and my shortcomings and what I've learned over these past 24 years of my life. But I want to go into these comments, and I want like sharing of info. I mean, it's YouTube, and that's another thing I wanted to talk about. But you can come on here for free, and granted, you pay with your time, but that's a non-negotiable for anything in life. You have to spend time to do anything. But yeah, it's gonna be a good time. I think. I mean, I want it to be positive vibes all around. Everyone kind of working together to, you know, learn some more, learn something they didn't know yesterday. Um, but yeah, and I want to start having a creative outlet outside of work because I do like design and stuff like that. Yes, I'm taking standard practices and I'm applying it, but also there's also stuff I can't talk about that I have to be kind of creative about and making a solution. So yeah, and now we'll move on to what direction that I want my channel to go in. So it'll probably start out as a weekly upload type deal. I don't see why not. If not, more frequent. Um, I have my own space now. I can kind of do my own thing, kind of draft up some scripts and kind of the content that I want to talk about with you guys and get your feedback on. And you know I you know I think I'm okay at taking criticism. I could always be better. I know people say that, but I very much mean it. um, so yeah, and I eventually want to scale it to where it's more than once a week. If not every day. You know I I love short form content as much as the other person, but I do like longer videos, and I want to get to the point where I'm making these videos and you take the time to actually learn from them, or get some information that you're like, okay, that's what he sees from his perspective. What can I learn from it? And you know, and what can I learn from y'all? That's at the end of the day, that's what it's about, is the exchange of information and knowledge. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Um, and see you soon.